Telling you, man, we talk about this all the time. It's got to be story first. The whole point and hope of this podcast is to be able to help you, the creative, the videographer, the person that is starting a business, the person that is starting a creative business in video production, the person that is wanting to grow their small business and scale it and to be able to grow in serving others. I want to make sure that you know that you have a neighbor. Like a good neighbor, I am there. And I'm not State Farm, but I'm just saying you do not have to go through it alone. Here is a voice that's saying, I am cheering you on. I know that you are figuring things out. You're trying new things out online. You're trying to really push forward and growing and trying to learn how to serve the best way possible. You're trying to look for resources out there. You're completely bombarded with ads daily on social media. Is that just me? I don't think it's just me. I'm pretty sure it's everybody. And I want you to know that there's an opportunity to do what you need to do the best way possible and serve those around you the best way possible. So I'm excited for this. This is the Story First podcast. So today, simply, we're starting off with 4 tips to grow your new video business. Now, I know that people that are listening to this, or some people are going to be well seasoned. They've been in it for a while. I know that people are going to be starting out and they've just started out. My hope through this is to chew the meat, spit out the bones, really be able to hear some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. I literally just started implementing now. Some of the things I'm still working on trying to implement, right? And I have to give myself the permission to say, okay, I recognize I'm at 10, 11 years into it, but I also recognize I feel like I'm just getting started. I feel like we're just trying to figure this out. So 4 tips to grow your new video business, right? First one off the top. I know it's going to sound like, of course, but I have to say it. Find a mentor. Find a mentor, right? You cannot do it alone. And I understand it's the wild, wild west with social media. It's everybody's doing everything all at the same time, everything everywhere all at once, trying to figure it out, right? But man, if there was something that I wish I was able to get earlier on in my career, man, it would have been a mentor. It would have been somebody that I can soundboard to and say, hey, does this sound like a good idea? Or what would you do in this situation? Or how do you normally handle these kinds of scenarios? And to be able to have those questions answered, man, I there's been so many just instances where like I really wanted to get some help and it was just tough. One, just kind of, I lived in a smaller area, so it was hard to kind of find people that were kind of ahead of the game in regards to the things that I was doing. But for me, a mentor I think of a lot is a guy, I call him out, a guy named Chris Shelton. I'm calling you out. Shouts out to Event Point in back home in Georgia. And one of the things that is great about having a mentor is you don't know what you don't know until you recognize you don't know it. And a lot of the times that has to come from somebody that's outside of you to say, oh, I didn't even know I didn't know that. So finding a mentor to be able to kind of calibrate you to what's actually possible and calibrate you to ways in which you can move forward tactfully and progressively and probably jump that learning curve a little bit, man. I'm telling you, I remember when I first came to his office, had a little meeting, just wanted to meet him for the first time kind of thing. And I was telling him what I had going on, starting out the video business, the website up, got things going, little photo. Back then I was doing photo and video. So like different packages and collections and like trying to figure all that out. Right. And so he's like, oh man, that sounds great. So like, how are you, figuring out the amount, the cost for these collections, for your services and the things that you do? And I said, well, my electricity bill is this much, my rent is this much, my phone bill is this much, my water is this much, internet is this much. And I said, okay, if these are my monthly expenses, right, I could probably do about 5 of these a month, 5 of these services a month at this amount. And if I do that, then we'll be good. We'll probably break even, profit a little bit. We'll be good per month. And he looked at me, he chuckled for a second, and he said, don't do that. I was like, what? Man, I prepared that. Like I had my little, I remember what notebook I had it in. Maybe it was a composition notebook. I don't know, but it had something. And I was prepared. Like I thought that would have been good, right? So as we continued to talk, he began to show me, insight on the market and figuring out, where you stand in regards to your work, and the cost of it in the area. Also connected with SBDC, a Small Business Development Center, where that's part of what they do. They're able to give you the data to show you, the cost for certain services like this one in your area. They have free resources for that. And so that's where I began to kind of go down the whole of, trying to figure out what I charge, what my cost is, kind of thing. But the crazy thing is, it's not just that I was doing it based off of my monthly expenses. It was the fact that I did not know that I needed to do the market research. Like it wasn't, it didn't compute. Like it wasn't something I was looking for. And I was like, man, this is, what else am I missing here? Right. So it's just, you think it would be like, duh, Damien. No, it was not. It was not. Right. And so how do we go about finding a mentor? Right. How do we figure that out? Right. So firstly, for me, most of the times when you're looking for a mentor and you're trying to find somebody, they're a little bit more experienced. They've been doing it for a while. So normally their schedule isn't just open and free and available all the time and any time to answer your questions, right? So let's talk about 5 ways to find a great mentor, right? Number 1, try to get clear expectations on what you want from the mentor, right? I want to be able to learn camera. I want to be able to learn how to use my camera well from a mentor. I want to be able to learn the back end of the business, like the finances and the back end of how to process transactions and keep up with clientele and that kind of a thing for my business, right? I want to learn how to interact with potential new clients and what to think about, when I am in that process, right? Think about those things beforehand, because when you're able to get to your mentor, you have specifics that you are trying to do, and they will love that. They'll be like, oh, you're trying to figure out how to use your camera? Man, let me tell you what helped me so much in that, right? Oh, you're trying to learn the back end of it? Wow. Let's do a few QuickBooks sessions, right? Let's go through Excel spreadsheet together and let me kind of show you things of P&L, gross and net, like show you how to kind of set those things up for yourself, right? Now, instead of walking to them like, hey man, I just want to learn, what do you got to teach me? No, we want to add the tangibility first. We want to add the tangible items first to the process, right? So have clear expectations. Number 2, find possibilities through social media or connections locally. Easily, we're good at stalking people online. Like, we want a videographer mentor. Let's look locally, see what videographers we can find locally through a Google search, see what kind of work that they do. Invest your time into researching who they are as people, if they have a heart to want to actually educate and kind of help people around them, because some people might look at this as competition, right? So and it's just the truth. So you have to take your time to kind of figure out the person and see if they would even be interested in doing that, right? This is not a consultation session where you do it one time and that's it. This is something where you are putting in time beforehand to be able to receive help from them, and it takes a little bit of time, to be able to do that, which leads me to the next one. Number 3, add value first, right? These people are busy. These people are trying to figure things out themselves, right? They don't need another person saying, hey man, why don't you teach me? Why don't you train me? And things I learn, I'll take it and do it myself, right? No, add value first. Hey, I would love to learn from you some specific camera techniques and things like that. Is there any way maybe I can help you on a shoot free of charge? Right? That's number 5, right? Everything needs to be free, right? Free of charge. I'll do it for free. I would just love to learn I love to ask some questions, see what you think on a couple of shoots that you have coming up. And in return, I will help you. I will carry some bags for you. I will get your camera set up for you. I'll do PA work for you. It's like a personal assistant. I will, help with those things in order just to kind of lend your ear for a little while, maybe half an hour or an hour a day, whatever it is, and just talk about these specific things or whatever that is. Me being in this as long as I have been, 10, 11 years now, I have yet to have someone come up to me and say, this, what I just shared with you. I'm not going to repeat it because you get the idea. And it's nothing to like toot my own horn and like, oh yeah, you got to come correct. But it's something where you understand, you respect that person's time. You respect the fact that they can't be everywhere all the time and that you actually care about investing into your career, right? If you're not caring about it and you're just like, yeah, man, just teach me something. I don't think I'm going to care too much about it. I'm going to be like, yeah, sure. Let me know when you would like to do this. Right. And if I don't hear a response, I'm like, all right, I guess I didn't want, and that's, it has to go that way. You have to add that value first, right? The fourth one is following up with a phone call. So if you find them on social media, you reach out to them via Instagram, whatever, send a DM, like, great, sounds good. Follow up with a phone call, right? You got to break the ice. We got to talk to people. We have to talk to people. This is part of what we do as videographers. We talk to people. There's no going around that. There has to be people that we talk to, right? And then 5, it's for free. This is not something where you are getting paid for it. If you go on a shoot and you're helping out, you're not getting a paid role for it. It is free. It is free. Please hear me when I say that. The payment that you're getting is invaluable. It is to build your career. And you have to find the right person that does not see you as a threat. And I've done a lot of workshops in my career where I'm teaching other videographers to do pretty much what it is we do, or a version of it, right? So that they can create it themselves. And I've gotten that question a lot. Damien, how do you do this? Aren't you afraid that you're building up the competition? Honestly, no. Why? There's plenty of work out there for everybody. Like, I can't do everything all the time, right? And I truly believe that if they grow, that the entire economics of video production in the area grows. The industry grows in the area, right? And if the industry grows, then that means there's more opportunities for people to come in, more opportunities for people to learn, to have new opportunities, to work on projects, to collaborate. Oh, instead of being enemies and, why don't we collaborate together and build something that's even better, right? That's crazy, right? Wow. Okay. So, number 1, find a mentor. Number 2, give yourselves quick achieving goals, right? So we're talking about tips to grow your business. Find a mentor. Number 2, give yourself initial quick achieving goals. Why? So Dave, if anyone knows Dave Ramsey, if you know Dave Ramsey, you know Dave Ramsey. He has a really large company, and this entire business and his entire model is about helping people achieve financial peace, right? So getting out of debt, learning financial, I guess, etiquette, if you will, and kind of getting the best footing in that way. And been a listener to him for a while and different things. And he has, when it comes to getting rid of debt, he has something called the debt snowball, right? Where you kind of take the smallest debt that you have. Let's say you have 4 or 5 different items of debt. The first one's like $500. The last one is like 10 grand, right? 500, and maybe the next one's 3,000, 7, whatever, right? So the debt snowball is, you take out the smallest one first, right? Then you take out the next one. So if it's 500, let's say the next one is 600, right? Then you take out the next one. Maybe that one's 1,200, right? Then you take out the next one. Why, right? Why do it that way? Why not just go for the big one first, right? If you get that out, it's done, right? The reason why is because you want to be able to mentally and emotionally and physically see and feel the reduction of your debt as you're going through the process. You want to be able to see, oh man, yeah, I just knocked out the 500. Let's go to the 6. Oh, knocked out the 6. Let's go to the 12. Oh, knocked out the 12. Let's go to the right. You want to feel that momentum like a snowball that's going down a hill, right? That's the dead snowball. So why give yourselves initial quick achieving goals? Because you want to be able to build momentum in your career, right? If you start off with this huge, I want 30, I want to make 3 million the first year, right? Not quite. Not saying it can't be done, because, kudos if you do, but you want to be able to build a way for your systems to develop purposefully, and I don't want to say quickly, but like efficiently. Like you want to be lean in your development, where you're not wasting time. You have goals that you can meet. You just need to put the pedal to the metal, right? And quick achieving goals is like, I want to learn my exposure triangle, my aperture, shutter, ISO. I want to be able to create an initial simple inquiry process for my customers using like Jotform and Honeybook, right? Boom. I want to be able to go to 2 networking events a month, right? These are quick achieving tangible goals. Why? You want to feel that momentum, right? You want to be able to feel that. You want to be able to have that go. And for me, that's huge. Like I attention small businesses. The time for getting left behind when it comes to creating your social media video content is now over. And you don't have to be a maestro with an expensive camera to have a great social media presence either. In fact, what if I told you that in order to grow your brand and to position yourself as a leader online, all you would need is a smartphone and a laptop with internet connection in order to create quick and relevant and consistent video content that has no choice but to attract and bring in your intended audience. If you're a small business owner like me, you're probably filling many hats and barely have any time to think about social media, let alone creating consistent video content for your business, because it's always a stressful process that leaves you even more discouraged than when you were before you even started. Trust me, you are not alone. And this is why we're talking about immediate implementation into your social media platform, and not something where you have to watch 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of video content. I spent the last 10 years as a videographer serving both small and large organizations to help them with creating quality content that will attract their intended audience. And what's one thing that I've learned? Social media can be the equalizer. So if you're finished with FOMO and you're ready to streamline the video creation process, click the link below and I'll see you there. I've noticed that with myself, I can get stagnant. Like if I'm just kind of meandering, it just gets stagnant. And we want to be able to kind of put those things forward. One of the things I loved about when I first started this business was I was just going for it. Like reaching out to contacts, being able to hear, just trying different things out, being able to connect with mentors and say, hey man, I'd love to be on shoot, learning from them, getting another mentor, learning the back end of the business, trying out photography. We did a lot of menu photography. We got paid in food for those things starting out, like senior grad photography, just different things, going into video production, doing real estate, created an entire like poster for real estate stuff that we did back then, and learned how to do video production for real estate. And they had technology with your phone where the phone would vibrate and rotate, and then it did that. It showed the room. Like there's different things. I was like, man, and what's also cool with that is as you do that, your understanding of what you really want to do becomes more and more clear, as well as what you don't want to do. Right? So give yourself initial quick achieving goals. That's number 2. So number 1, find a mentor. Number 2, give yourselves quick initial achieving goals. Number 3, keep fighting to get clarity on your purpose. And this is kind of what I was just about like getting into. As you go about your career, you're going to become more and more clear on the things that you want to pursue, right? If you take the time to recognize that as you're going through the production, right? You want to be able to eventually take your flag, put it in the ground and say, okay, this is what we are producing. This is what we are pursuing, right? You want to be able to do that, right? And that helps with the marketing that you put out. That helps with the things that you're pursuing online, the content that you're creating online, because you have a pathway. Like you have, this is where you're going. These are the what is it called, the the borders for you to stay on, like, biblically, the rod and the staff that helps you continue to move forward, right? And being able to do that continuously gives you an opportunity to refine that more and more, to the point where you're not guessing anymore the kind of work that you want to do. You're now pursuing the kind of work that you want to do, right? So keep fighting to get clarity on the purpose. How do you do that? Really easy. Do the work. Start. Find people in your bubble. Begin inquiring, right? As you go through projects, do an after action report. Did I actually enjoy the project? If so, why? If not, why? Keep doing it until you get past the tangible reward, getting paid for it, and find the intangible. I really enjoyed being able to help this children's advocacy center project. It really just pulled something in my heart, and I love telling these stories, right? Now you're recognizing, you're getting closer to, like, okay, now I understand why I see, I want more of these projects like this, right? It's satisfying me, right? Business growth is not about being something for everybody, right? It's about being the one or two things for those one or two people in a deep manner, right? That's something that I had to learn, right? Because when I first started doing the video production stuff, I really thought when I first started that I had to have down packed what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, when I wanted to do it. Like I felt like I had to have that down day one, right? This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. This is how I'm going to do it. And I'm not doing anything else, right? I thought that's what this was. Like I thought that's what I needed to pursue. And I found out not the case, right? It's not until I go through doing the work that I become more and more clear on, okay, yes, I enjoy this. Okay, no, do not. Yeah. As they say, this ain't it. Right. And that's the only way you're able to discern what is and what is not. Right. And I think that's interesting that you have to go through that process. Right. Business growth is not about being something for everybody, but it's about being the one or two things for the one or two people in a deep manner, right? And I there's lots of thoughts on this, right? People say you don't have to niche down, just do everything, be great at doing everything or doing whatever, And I mean, in this day and age, everybody's doing everything, right? Everybody's producing all kinds of content on their phone, on their cameras. It's just everywhere, right? But here's the truth that people either don't want to share or don't think about it. Believe it or not, this may come as a surprise to you, but your life is not just pressing record on your camera. I'm going to say it again. For those in the back, your life is not just pressing record on the camera, right? I'm assuming, I don't know your life, maybe you don't, but I assume that you will want to, if you haven't already, you'll want a family. You'll want to do some things with friends. You'll want hobbies that you want to do outside of this. You'll have things that you'll want to pursue outside of this. You'll have nonprofits that you'll want to invest in or work with outside of this. You'll want to build something for the community that's outside of this. Like there is life outside of just doing this video production job. And I know that may come as a surprise, but because that is the thing, because that is true, we want to be able to focus on the things that we want to pursue specifically in video production, and the things that we do not, or maybe just doesn't really spark an interest for us, we don't really pursue. Like for us, just being full transparent, we do not pursue music videos, and we do not pursue like pharmaceuticals, prescription drugs, or anything like that for video content. You will not see us film something for Ozempic. I'm sure it's great, whatever, but it's not something that we have an interest in pursuing, right? And so that took time, and that took me saying no to a few projects, and that doesn't feel good, because there's a potential missed opportunity. But when it comes to me walking in uh, just the fullness of the things that we want to pursue, I have to give my time to something. And if I'm going to give it, I want to make sure that it's doing things that I really want to pursue, that I really want to, build a raft for to float in, right? So, sorry, tangent. I'm not sorry. That's what this is about. Podcast, baby. Let's go. Tips to grow your business. 1, find a mentor. 2, give yourself an initial quick achieving goals. Oh, plural. Give yourself initial quick achieving goals. 3, keep fighting to get clarity on your purpose. 4, and I would say the most important. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here with this podcast, man. I'm trying to figure it out. 4, I would say one of the things that's the most important. Hear this. Hear ye, hear ye. It is not about you. It's not. It's not. The fear to post online, the fear of not getting enough followers online, it's not about you. Your growth, your social media presence, your services, your websites, your workflow, your video content, the equipment, none of that's about you. All of these things are resources or tools to serve your clients well. You serve your clients well, your clients will grow. We're in business to serve, and to serve well. It's not about you. This this literally is about serving other people and creating consistent opportunities to grow and scale the service, right? And I think we get it twisted sometimes, especially seeing everything online and seeing like all the glitz and glam. Oh man, look at that, amazing. The videos I've seen online are amazing, and I could definitely feel envy sometimes, right? But when I think about the opportunity to serve my clients well, I don't feel FOMO with that. Like, I have the opportunity to do that, so I do that, right? And I have yet to have any customer, any client that has come to me and said, "Hey, Damien, we were going to work with you, but I see you only have 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work," right? But what I do see, Damien, we got a huge recommendation to reach out to you from a previous client that you've worked with. Man, we loved the content that you created online. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see what you think about pursuing this project. That I have heard, right? It's not about you. It's about serving the people. It's about serving well. And so we're going to talk more about that in other episodes. How do we actually serve our customers well, right? Okay. So bonus tip. Bonus tip. I wish I had like a sound effect. Bonus tip. Bleep, 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 bleep. Bonus tip, right? And this is something that I am still working on, and I have to really pursue it in order to make it grow and make it be very fruitful for me and for us and for my family. Bonus tip. Hear me out. Calibrate your household. If you have a family, wife, kids, husband, kids, grandma staying at the house, whatever it is, sister, whatever it is, calibrate your household on the things that you have planned for your business. Why? It's harder for a plane to take off when it's flying against the wind. Starting a business is hard, right? Starting a business and not really having support from your family, that's in your house where you live, or not even like not having support from them, but not really knowing what you're pursuing, which equals they are putting their agenda ahead of things that you're trying to pursue, right? Not on purpose, not out of like, you know, bad feelings, but it's just everybody's trying to do things, right? And they don't really know what you have going on. So the family just puts what they need to do ahead, and it makes you feel like, you know, you might be kind of on the outskirts of it, right? But being purposeful about that and calibrating your household, it's difficult to create a space for you to develop these thoughts and plans that you want to pursue if you don't have allies, right? Instead, you have liabilities, right? You have wanting more support, but not really gaining it, or you have people not really knowing what's happening. So there's not really support, right? Your family doesn't know how to support you if you don't tell them how. And I know that sounds weird. Like, of course they should know. No, they don't. They know that you're wanting to pursue a business, right? But they don't know the plans that you have. They don't know the things that you're trying to create in the system and how it comes back to the household and the plans that you have for things later on in the year. Like, they don't know, right? And so they probably want to support you, right? But you have to take the step forward. And this is big in business in general. The game is being ahead, always, being ahead of it, always, creating your content ahead of time, always, being able to schedule posts online, always. Like it's a being ahead of the game kind of situation, right? So how do we do this? How do we get them calibrated? Simple. I don't know if it's simple, but here's what I've come up with, right? And I'm literally like working on implementing this myself, and I'm in the process and have done it, and still in the process. Uh, Create a plan, share it with your family, tell them, and when you share it with your family, tell them you need two things from them: their support and their permission to go for it without hesitation. This is what you need from your family, right? So let's break this down. Create a plan, right? Uh, New Year's coming up. What's the plan, right? How are you going to bring in business for the next year, right? What does this look like from a 20,000 foot view, right? Uh, what are the things that you're wanting to pursue next year? Like we may have workshops coming up that we're going to do each quarter, and we're going to advertise to different audiences in the area by reaching out to other businesses that may serve as allies into the gaining attention for those workshops, right? Awesome. That's so cool. You're doing workshops. What are you going to talk about? This is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to have two workshops, one that's going to be on this, one that's going to be on that, right? So that's one side of it, right? The other thing, the video production work, right? We're going to be doing projects, and this is how we're going to kind of get into the leads of projects. And we don't have to get into the minute detail, but just giving them an overview of that, right? I'm thinking like PowerPoint presentation, you get some snacks ready. You know, you get the little caramel popcorn, the little cheese popcorn, some drinks, you know, try to catch them when the baby's napping or the baby's good, you know, set up the projector and screen or set up the TV, put the laptop in, whatever, like clicker, mouse, slide deck, like really taking the time for this, right? Why? You are investing into this. You're investing into the opportunity to show them what's happening and to show them what you're thinking. And a lot of the times when you're doing this, some people might say, oh, you know what would be cool? And they tell you something that you're like, I didn't even think about that. Oh, Steve at church has the contact for that business that you just said you wanted to get in touch with. We can reach out to him. Like, now you're starting to get allies. Now you're getting buy-in. Now you're not having liabilities, right? That's what I mean by calibrating your household and scheduling. Um, man, scheduling. that's that's what I could say. It means so much when all parties are in the know of events happening. You can think through the year. Most of the times in a year, there are certain events that happen around the same time every year. We can get those things on the calendar. Let people know, hey guys, here are the upcoming dates for this quarter, right? That I have to attend. This, and this. And then people can see that and let them know, oh yeah, we have this thing. Okay, that's not going to work. I'll try to fix that. But getting that calibration ahead of time, oh man, guys, like now we're cooking with grease. Now we're cooking with hot grease. So that's I'm gonna read this again. Create a plan, share it with your family, and tell them you need two things from them: their support and their permission to go forward without hesitation, right? And permission is, I want you guys to know I'm doing this so that I have the freedom to share with you guys, to ask you guys what you think, and to get your permission to say, hey, we can go through this together, right? And that, man, this is something that I get excited about because it's not discussed. Getting your family calibrated on what you're trying to pursue is as important as creating a social media marketing plan for your business. Why? Because the family plan that's at home helps grow and cultivate you. The marketing plan that you create online helps to grow and build leads for your business, right? Not only does your business have to grow, you have to grow as well in serving those around you, including your family, right? So it's not a second thought, it is a forethought, right? Now, see what I'm saying? Now we're starting to click. All right. So, recap tips in growing your business. I think there are 4 tips in growing your business, right? Number 1, find a mentor. Number 2, give yourself initial quick achieving goals. Number 3, keep fighting to get clarity on your purpose. Number 4, it's not about you. And number 5, bonus, calibrate your household. Man, whew. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. As always, if you have questions, let me know. Please send me a message. Go onto our Instagram, FilmStory1. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Let me know if you have any questions or any things that I can answer for you. And please share notes, share thoughts. I'd love to hear. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.